Hi, I'm Matthew Hoelscher, founder of Parent Marriage Coaching and creator of the Emotionally Connected Couples Coaching Program. Today we're going to talk about sex. I have a 4-part series ready to go for you on marital sex life, understanding where you're at in your sex life, how to keep it spicy, understanding female orgasm, and finally, how to keep your sex life with young kids, because these are some of the most common issues that I deal with in my marital coaching practice. So today we're going to start with the baseline, with what I call the 3 levels of marital sex. Because what I found in my practice is that when sex is good, it's only 10% of a relationship. But when sex is bad, it's 90% of the problem. And so troubleshooting sexual issues and helping people understand sexuality and get deeper into their sexuality is something that I enjoy doing, because that is the glue that holds the couples together. It's like 2 bricks, but without the mortar of sex and emotional connection between them, there's nothing holding them together. And when that mortar gets weak, eventually the bricks fall off and creates a problem. So let's see where you're at. When I help people with sex, the first thing I'm listening for is to find out what level are they at in their sexual development. See, the first level is what I call the guy gets his. When we start off with our sexuality, most women are inviting their male partner in, but the male partner has no control over their sexuality and their orgasm, and being new to sex, they're usually very excited and last only a short period of time. So generally the male gets his orgasm, but often the female is left wanting and without. And a lot of men become greedy. She gets a feeling of relief that she's been of service to her partner, and she enjoys the emotional connection, and she enjoys making you happy, and that can last for a while through high school, through college, through the mid-20s, but usually by the end of 20s and early 30s, women have sort of a blossoming or an awakening, and they're like, hey, what about me? I would like to have more attention. I would like my partner to gift me with an orgasm, because either they're not orgasmic and they've never had one, or they first have to find their own orgasm through masturbation and self-discovery, but they haven't figured out how to communicate that to their partner so that their partner can give it to them as a gift. And in marriage, we have this wonderful opportunity to have this sexual exploration without any guilt or without any shame. But it's hard because we've never talked about it before marriage, and there's such a stigma against sex before marriage that it's like holding something down and then being like, okay, you're free, go ahead, go wild, explore. And it's hard for people to make that shift from like, no, 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 to, yeah, everything's fine now. And it's a big shift for people to make. So once you understand your own body, you start exploring yourself and you find out what feels good for you, the next thing is to be able to share that with your partner so that they can gift you that same wonderful experience. And when you go to that point, we come to what I call stage 2, she comes first. Meaning the man gets good at understanding his woman, he learns how to pleasure her, he learns foreplay, he learns what turns her on, he enjoys cooking a delicious sexual meal with his woman, and that he knows how to give her an orgasm. And once she's had her orgasm, he's free to do whatever he needs. It really doesn't matter how long he lasts, because she's already pleasured, and then it feels equal and balanced. And eventually, with a lot of practice, partners learn how to have orgasm together, and they also learn that you don't need to orgasm every time, that sometimes just the act of sex is good, and it's good enough. But you can't have sex repeatedly for a long period of time and have it unbalanced, where only one partner is feeling orgasm and the other one is not. Because the hormone that really makes us feel bonded is oxytocin, and we get a huge shot of that at orgasm. We get a medium shot of it through hugging or contact for at least more than 30 seconds. And we get a tiny shot of it with some eye contact and some focused attention. But we really want that orgasm, because that's that glue again that keeps us feeling attached, loved, and secure. And that is also kind of the canary in the coal mine, so that when that's not there, you can go without it for a short period of time. But for longer and longer periods of time, eventually it will create a resentment, and there will be a problem in your relationship if this doesn't get solved and get back into a fair balance for the partnership. Finally, after a lot of exploration, getting comfortable with your sexuality and letting go of all the shame and guilt that you might have felt before in your sexuality, you reach this third level of sex. Usually couples don't discover it till their late 40s or early 50s. After a lot of practice, the stress of the kids are out of the house, they're established in their careers, they're no longer going to school, and they just have time for each other, and they can finally slow down. There's no more rushing, no more hiding, no more pressure. And they learn to just be sensual with each other and enjoy each other's bodies and give each other a deep amount of connection and pleasure. And I call that goalless sex. You can learn to get so good at sex that women and men can both be multiply orgasmic. So while in the second stage, in the first stage only one partner is getting orgasm, in the second stage you're making sure you each get one, and that's what you need for maintenance. But by the third stage, it's like it's infinite. There's no need to count because there's so many, it becomes impossible to count. You're so good at gifting pleasure to your partner that you're no longer worried or keeping score because you're off the charts. And that's a wonderful place to get to that you don't have to wait until your 50s to get to. You just have to commit to it and start building this practice with your partner. And that requires good emotional connection. It requires open communication. And it requires some self-discovery. It requires you finding out what works for you and sharing it with your partner. It requires you both to explore, to order some new toys, or to learn some new techniques online and risk having bad sex. When you have so much good sex, you can take some time to experiment with something new. It may or it may not work out for you, and you don't care because you trust your partner, you're secure, and you're willing to explore new things. And when you explore new things, you add in the chemical of dopamine, which is novelty and excitement, and mix that with the oxytocin of secure bonding and attachment, and that's what keeps a relationship juicy, alive, flexible. It's like that mortar is not even just fixed holding those two bricks together, but it's now flexible and sticky, and it holds it, and it's juicy, and it's delicious. And that's what most people are striving to get to in their relationships, but they're afraid of being vulnerable and taking the risks necessary to get to that point. So here at Parent Marriage Coaching, I focus on finding out where you're at and seeing what it would take to get you to that next level of sexual intimacy and development so that you can both have the pleasure that you're both craving and that you both deserve. So again, my name's Matthew Hoelscher, founder of Parent Marriage Coaching, and I look forward to talking to you soon.